Hi, excuse me. Hi, this is Trey Passer. Um, Welcome to the Horoscope 101 channel. It's Saturday, so it's my day, and this week is, excuse me, Screen Week. Pardon me for that interruption with the windows open. But anyway, it's Screen Queen Week on the Horoscope 101 channel, and I decided for my choice for Screen Queen Week, I went a little old school because I love old school horror, especially Universal horror movies, and that's why I have the Universal horror set right here, the DVD set. Okay, because the person I'm going to talk about, the Screen Queen that I'm talking about, is actress Evelyn Ankers, who's affectionately known as the Queen of the Screamers. Okay, she made a lot of movies back in the 1940s. She was originally a British actress, born in Chile, of course, and raised in England. And her family came to America, uh, right when the Nazis, I guess, attacked England. Okay, and she got her first big break, I think, in the movie Hold That Ghost, the Abbott and Costello comedy. And in that same year, she starred in a movie. And the three movies I want to talk about that she was in, I guess, as it pertains to the Universal horror movies. Like I said, she was in a lot of B, I guess you could call it B type of movies in the 1940s up till the 1950s. And like I said, she was famous for her screaming. She had a blood curdling scream, would sound something like this. Yeah, that's pretty intense. And she also was very attractive. She was very tall too, 5'8", I believe. And like I said, there's three movies in this set that I'm going to talk about that she was in. Okay, I'm going to start from the least, I guess, the least amount of her participation to the, I guess, the most. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is she was in the Son of Dracula, which starred Lon Chaney, who she actually starred in three movies, I believe. They were frequent co-stars, even though, according to rumor, what was written back then, they couldn't stand each other. But anyway, Son of Dracula, in that movie, Lon Chaney Jr. plays a descendant of Dracula who comes to the South to basically to marry into his family, and the woman that he marries actually is the sister of Evelyn Ankers' character. Evelyn Ankers in this movie, she has more of a supporting role in this movie. She's more of the good sister in this movie. So she doesn't. Her part is kind of small in this movie. She doesn't really like. She's not the main character, so she doesn't really. She plays like a supporting role to her sister, and it's actually a pretty decent movie. Okay, but her part is small in that, and no screaming from her in that. Okay, now the second movie I'm going to talk about is The Ghost of Frankenstein, which is actually the sequel to Son of Frankenstein. Okay, in this movie, Evelyn Ankers plays the daughter of Ludwig van Frankenstein, who's actually the son of course, of Victor Frankenstein. And supposedly he had two sons in this movie, and of course, in the in the Son of Frankenstein, the monster. You've seen that. This is a spoiler. But the monster got kicked into a vat of acid. Okay, and not a vat. No, to a not a vat of acid. Excuse me, the tar pits, and basically thought to have died. But of course, in the beginning of Ghost of Frankenstein, you see Igor uh, basically escaping from the castle when the villagers blow it up, and doing that when they dynamite the castle, he finds the monster frozen in the sulfur pits, basically preserved him, and then the monster gets struck by lightning and gets resurrected. And then, Igor says, "We're going to go to the second son of Frankenstein and find him and get him to help you." Okay, so him and the monster go off to see Ludwig van Frankenstein. Now, Evelyn Ankers in this movie, she plays the daughter of Ludwig van Frankenstein, of course, and there's a great scene where she screams. I mean, a fantastic scene where she screams upon reading her grandfather's journal about the monster, and then all of a sudden the monster appears. It's a stormy night, and the monster appears in the window, and she of course sees him and lets out a blood-curdling scream, which sounds something like this. That's a scream. She has a good set of lungs on her, okay? And of course, like I said, her part is more than it was in Son of Dracula. It's more of a, it is still more a supporting role, you know, but she is like the daughter of the main actor, you know, the son of Ludwig van Frankenstein, played by Sir Cedric Hardwicke, okay? And she's involved in a lot of the action stuff, you know, finding out about the monster and stuff, and the monster basically attacking them and attacking her, and then her, you know, finding out about, you know, the monster and her father wanting to put the brain of a good man that got murdered by the monster into the body, and over her objections, she doesn't, you know, she wants just the monster to be destroyed. But she's really good in that. And then also, I'm going to go to the last but not least movie is The Wolfman, the 1941 movie, where she plays a more substantial role. She plays Gwen Carruth, who's like the and Lon Chaney Jr., who's the Wolfman's character, or Larry Talbot. He basically spies on her in the beginning of the movie when he, you know, he comes home after being estranged from his father, and he's basically spying on Gwen Carruth in her room that's across the way with a telescope, and then he goes to her shop and basically flirts with her, and basically asks her out, basically, or basically tells her he's going to take her out. Okay, and of course they, you know, they flirt back and forth, and of course they actually do go out on a date, even though she definitely has a fiance in the movie, and they go out, and that's the night, of course, he gets attacked by the wolf, okay, and becomes bitten by the wolf, and of course becomes the Wolfman, and of course, you know, she, you know, she's, you know, she likes him, but of course, you know, the town people start gossiping about her and stuff, and he of course comes to her defense, and you can tell that she likes him, even though she's, you know, engaged to another man, and then even when Lon Chaney realizes who he is and he tries to go to her, you know, to tell her that, you know, that what he's going through and how he, you know, he hates what he is and he has to get away, and she's, you know, she's being supportive of him, and then of course he sees her, you know, how the werewolf could see his next victim, you know, in their hand, sees the sign of a pentagram in their hand. He sees that in her and he flees in terror because of course he doesn't want to kill, you know, the woman that he loves. And then of course it tragically ends with him at the end, you know, changing for one final time, and her coming and you know, she's searching for him because she wants to help him. And of course, even though the gypsy believer warns her, don't go in the woods or he'll find you. And then she goes anyway, and of course the Wolfman does find her, and of course he lets off a blood-curdling scream when he finds her. And then of course his father, you know, interrupts that, and he winds up killing him. But like I said, she has a great set of lungs on her that scream, and like I said, she was actually a beautiful actress. And like I said, she's one of the, like I said, the original queen of the screamers. That's what they call it, because like I said, she has a great set of lungs, and she could scream her head off. Okay, so Evelyn Ankers, definitely worth checking out. Like I said, she did a bunch of other B movies, well, in that time period from like, I think from like the 40s to the 50s, and then she, you know, amongst her movies that basically started getting, were old, you know, kind of got phased out, and then she kind of got married, and then she kind of retired, and but she, I think she lived up to the year 1985. She lived a long, good life, I think. But she was a good actress, Evelyn Ankers. Like I said, definitely, like I said, especially I love her in The Wolfman, because you can tell from that moment that he starts, when Lon Chaney's character, Larry Talbot, sees her through the window, and he's basically, you know, oogling her, and then he goes down to the shop and starts flirting with her and stuff, and you can tell they have a nice chemistry. Like I said, even though in real life supposedly they couldn't stand each other, but, and I think most of that was because mostly they said Lon Chaney Jr., you know, had a drinking problem and stuff. But definitely Evelyn Ankers, definitely worth checking out, and definitely worth, those three movies are definitely worth checking out. Son of Dracula, Ghost of Frankenstein, and of course the classic, you know, The Wolfman, 1941's The Wolfman, definitely worth checking out. Okay, let me know what you think. Okay, this is Paul Woodley, a trade passer for the Horoscope 101 channel, and tune in tomorrow for Claire's. It'll be Claire's Day. That'll be the end of the week. So let me know what you think, and feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trade Passer saying so long and take care.